At 42, my heart stopped. And at 53, I'm walking away from everything. And people keep on asking me, why would I walk away from that? Why would I do this? So I'm here to explain it. In my 40s, I had a cardiac arrest. It wasn't genetics, it wasn't bad luck, it was chronic financial stress. The financial hardship that's crushing when you've got $5 in the bank and no way out. That stress doesn't just wear you down, it actually has the ability to kill you. And on that Monday morning, for me, it did. I remember being annoyed that I was woken from my lovely near-death experience. I can tell you that having a near-death experience is quite the wake-up call, and it gives you clarity, things that you've never really considered previously. I was too busy surviving to be living a life that I wanted to live. But this doesn't make me brave. This makes me crystal clear on what I want for my future. The brutal, inconvenient clarity that comes from losing a life. So I spent the next decade doing everything right. Saving, investing, rebuilding, paying off all of my debt. I built stability and I built a life exactly how it's supposed to look in your 50s. It's the kind of life that looks perfect from the outside and says to people, she's made it. But comfort and clarity are not the same thing if you feel like you're meant for something else in life. And I know how this sounds. It sounds ungrateful. It sounds privileged. Maybe a little insane. Some days I think I am a little bit insane, and other days I think this is brilliant. This is the right thing to be doing. After my heart stopped, I started doing calculations on how much of a life I still have to live. I'm 53, or actually 54 now, and realistically I've got about 5,500 days left of fit, active, get out and do things type of energy. The energy that makes you want to gallivant around the world and see things on the other side of the globe. The sort of energy before I book myself into a full-time cruise ship for year-round support, which does seem like a good option. But 15 years, that's it. That's sort of 5,500 days. And by the time you've taken out eating, sleeping, cooking, cleaning, all the daily routines, emails, paying bills, etc., what do you have left? 2,000 days of the life that you want to be living? And when I'm sitting in a retirement home, I thought to myself, am I going to say, I wish I'd travelled less? Done less? No. I'm going to say I'm glad I'd made myself uncomfortable for a little bit, because I got to experience things I was not going to experience just by sitting at home in my safety net. I'm getting to experience life and pursue it on my terms. That's the first time in my life. So the question became really simple, but really uncomfortable as well. The question became not, can I afford to leave, but can I afford to stay? Because the one thing I'd already learned the hard way was that life isn't guaranteed. And the next 15 years are not guaranteed. Neither is tomorrow. I've already dropped dead once. I don't need a second reminder. So if you're at that stage of life where life doesn't feel like it's yours anymore, stick with me. Here's the part I don't hear anyone talking about, and that's the guilt that you feel when you're the only one doing this. I know I'm in a privileged position from the financial security I've built for myself, and that I don't take for granted. I built it intentionally after my heart attack, and I know what it's like to be the person that's only got $5 in your account and everything feels really, really difficult. So I do feel guilt for that. After having those financial issues, I would look at the version of me now and say, why am I walking away from everything? Why am I walking away from this security? So yes, leaving a comfortable life now at 53 feels like one of the most ungrateful things that I could possibly do. I don't know anyone else that's doing it at this age. There's a script for how you're supposed to be in your 50s. And packing up your life to figure it out isn't one of them. But if I had kids and a partner, I probably wouldn't be doing this. This probably wouldn't be my next step. But I don't. I only have my own self to answer to. So it gives me far more flexibility than if I had other people that were reliant on me. But, you know, if there's anything that I've learnt from having my heart stop on a Monday morning and coming back from that type of experience, is that life is short and I want to be able to experience more of life than I ever have before. And sometimes the most grateful thing you can do with a second chance is really live it and live it the way you want to be living it. So here's what I'm not choosing. I'm not choosing to renovate my house, to buy a luxury car, to redo my wardrobe and look the part and upgrade my standing in my social circles. That's all stuff, and stuff makes me feel empty. I know that at my age. I'm choosing the cabin in the woods energy. I'm choosing travel. I'm choosing new languages. I'm choosing new places that I don't know anything about. I'm choosing the places where I don't know how anything works. Oof. And I'm choosing to learn what I sound like when I'm not following someone else's script. And I'm doing what I want to do for the last part of my life. But honestly, it's terrifying, but it's the right kind of terrifying. I don't see midlife as a crisis. I see it as something where we get clarity. And clarity brought me here. So I'm walking away from comfort to something I can't quite describe yet. I don't quite know what that looks like. If that resonates with you, if you're standing on the edge of something new and wondering if you're crazy, you're not alone. I hope you subscribe. And if you made a similar leap, tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear about it.